Good afternoon, YouTube. Planoman here. It's about 12:30 on Saturday, and doing two things today. I'm shooting this on a Sony ZV-1F, so a little vlogging camera. Nice form factor, you can put it in your pocket. I'm going to South Dakota to see Mount Rushmore over Labor Day, and I wanted to get a camera that's a little tougher, easier to carry than my Osmo Pocket 3, which is a fantastic vlogging camera. But you know, it has the gimbal, and so I don't really know how that's going to stack up, so I wanted to try and get a little bit different form factor. And so this is the first video that I'm shooting on this, and I'm anxious to kind of see how it looks, how it sounds. The one thing I like about the Osmo is it has that microphone there, which when you put it on your person, it's fantastic. Even if you're 15 feet away from the camera and filming, you can obviously still hear. So we'll see how this works out. But this is my desktop. It's kind of my pride and joy. It is a Mac Mini M2 Pro, and so I got it when they came out a couple years ago. This has the 16 gigs of RAM and the 1 TB SSD. I remember the controversy. He's like, oh, the smaller SSDs are slower, and it's like, it's probably faster than I need, but I went with the 1 TB anyway. And I also, for some reason, upgraded the interface, the Ethernet interface, to 10 gigs. Don't ask me why, I just did it. And then I have a 6 TB. This is Thunderbolt, but it's still a regular spinning hard drive inside. So, and I use this to store a bunch of pictures over the years, and to do my time machine backup of this guy. And so that's obviously connected in. I have a CalDigit Thunderbolt 4 port replicator where I get a bunch of USB A's and USB-A, there they are, and then the Thunderbolt 4s over here. I have a little media reader, card reader. It may have one on the back of this, but obviously it's easier to do it here. And then the keyboard, wireless keyboard and touchpad. I also have a 13-inch M4 iPad Pro, which has cellular, and so you see the smart keyboard here. And I love this thing, but I'll talk about MacBook Pros here in a second. This is great for traveling because it has the cellular, but it's kind of flimsy, you can kind of see, and I've gotten to the point where I like to put the laptop in my lap. Imagine that. And I don't really, the touchscreen gets dirty and you have to clean it all the time. And so, while this is great for limited interactions, it's not my go-to, which I'll talk about here in a second. So anyway, wanted to kind of share that with you starting out on a Saturday. Stay tuned for more tech coming towards you. I got something new that I wanted to share with you, which is the whole reason for a lot of these videos today, using my new camera and showing off some new stuff that I got. All right, take care, and coming at you real soon. Planoman out. Okay, so this is my laptop. This is I just got this a couple weeks ago. It's a M4 MacBook Pro, and I was just looking through. It's my third. It just replaced an M1 Pro 14-inch, so this is a 14-inch. And it was on sale, I think, for $12.99 on Amazon. I couldn't believe it. I grabbed it. I should have maybe gone with an M2 Pro to match my Mac Mini, but I just, well, not an M2 Pro, an M4 Pro is what I meant, but I didn't. I just went with the M4, but it is fantastic. The battery life on this, which is what led me to Macs in the first place. I used to be a Windows guy and had Windows laptops. I had Dell, had HP, and was just really, I mean, it seemed like I would use them for a little while, like maybe an hour or so at the most, and it'd be, crying to plug in. And I thought, man, this is terrible. So I went to Mac way back when. Like I mentioned, this is my third, and they just have the best battery life of any laptop. And I'm very impressed with the M series chip. So, like I mentioned, this replaced an M1 Pro, MacBook Pro 14-inch, and this is the M4, and the battery life is fantastic. I mean, if you're already in the Mac ecospace, which ecosystem I should say, which I have an iPad, I have an iPhone, I have the Mac Mini, I have the MacBook Pro, so I have pretty much all Apple gear, but it really fits in nicely with that. And I like the form factor. You saw my iPad Pro. I do like the form factor of the laptop better. I don't know why. Sometimes I like the touchscreen, but obviously on a MacBook Pro you can't use it, and so I don't know. I just like the form factor of a laptop better. I guess that's what I'm used to. So anyway, stay tuned. This is not the surprise, so stay tuned. About to show that to you here in a second. Anyway, take care, and coming right back at you. All right, YouTube. So this is a Dell XPS, I think 8700, and I bought this 9 years ago, and it was a quad core. I think it's an i7, but I remember thinking, oh my goodness, 4 cores. So like most people, I started out on Windows. My first computer was a Windows computer from Packard Bell. I remember that. I think it had like a 420 megabyte hard drive. Woo! Anyway, this thing has been fantastic, and I don't really know why I want a Windows computer. You saw all my Mac gear. I'm on no shortage of computers, but I guess since I started with one, and I used to live in Austin, and Dell was really big in the 90s there, and everyone owned Dell stock, and man, it went up and split multiple times. So I always wanted to own a Dell. I don't know why, but and I have this down in my kind of grotto. This is what I call my man cave. You can see it's just you see there's no windows in here, so it stays cool even in the Texas summer. But it's where I come. You know, I can watch TV. I can watch YouTube here. I can do listen to music, whatever I prefer to do, and then just be on the computer. And so I've always had this here, and it just quit working. So years ago, I moved the hard drive contents over to an SSD, and I had this installed in it. So it wasn't the SSD that gave up, it was the power supply. I think it was randomly starting. Even when I turned it off, it would start up. It was something was going on with it, and of course it would probably cost more to fix it than it would cost to replace it. So I looked at some other possible big ones, but I decided against it. Decided to go with a different form factor, and so was able to pull the SSD out by this little cable, and really put everything I needed from this computer, this SSD, onto this one. And so this is a 2 terabyte SanDisk. You can see that it's formatted in exFAT, which goes between Microsoft and Apple. It's a compatible file. It's not as fast as the Apple file system, but it's compatible. So I moved everything that's important to me on this onto this, and I'll be putting it onto my new computer, which I'll show you here in a second, and I'll be good to go. And so I also have this, which I built, and this has, I think, a Samsung 980 inside of it, and the case's cover. So I just stuck the SSD inside and have it. And this is formatted in the Apple filing system. So this is for, between Mac and Mac Mini, iPhone. I can take pictures off at fast speeds of my iPhone and just store them. And of course, I don't know if you can see that, but that's a Thunderbolt 4 cable. So very fast. This one's not as fast, but obviously it's compatible with both Windows and Mac. Have the monitor, I have the keyboard. I'm getting a new keyboard too. I'll talk about that here in a second. But overall, it's been a great machine, but I think it's finally time has come to retire it, and I'll show you here in a second what I am replacing it with. Stay tuned. Hey YouTube, it's finally here. This is what I got yesterday. So it's a Surface, Microsoft Surface laptop. This is what I'm going to replace that desktop with. And so it's a 13.8 inch 16. It has the Qualcomm X Plus? No, not X Plus. X Elite chip, the higher one. It is 16 gigs of RAM and 1 terabyte hard drive. I got this for $9.99. This was on Amazon too. I guess I don't know, I was just looking through and this thing popped up and I thought, man, that seems like it. And so I looked at some other prices. I looked at some videos from even 6 months ago, and I think this was a higher price. So I thought, man, let me jump on that. So I went and bought the dock. This is the OEM Microsoft dock. You can see I have some things plugged into it. I kind of like it. It's kind of rubberized on the bottom and has a USB 4 and then a USB A port on the front. Have a couple things plugged in the back. Have the, I think it's a Logitech keyboard coming, but it has the Copilot key. So these two will be replaced to kind of go with that. And like I mentioned, all the important files that I'm going to be putting on it that I need or that I want to have are right here on this baby right here, this 2 terabyte SSD. So I'm looking forward to setting this thing up today on Saturday. Not like I mentioned on the Mac, not real crazy about the touchscreen, but obviously I'll try it out. I think it's kind of cool. But the videos that I've watched have really said that this has improved battery life, and so that's my biggest thing when I'm on a laptop is I don't want to plug in and use my laptop plugged in. That doesn't work for me. So we will set this up. This will be kind of my desktop / portable setup for Windows 11. One of the things I do, I have a laptop for work that's a Windows. It's a Lenovo and it has Windows 11 on it, and I like it. The thing I like most about it is I don't think I could tell you what my Windows password is, because when I open it up, the lid, it welcomes me with Hello Windows, which I think is a fantastic way to unlock your computer. And I can't wait to try it out on this. And Apple, if you're listening, you have a cam on that MacBook Pro. Touch ID is great, but man, there's nothing that beats just opening the lid, having it do Face ID. Obviously, the MacBook Pro does it, so I don't understand why the iPad Pro does it. But so I don't really understand what the holdup is on getting Face ID for the MacBook Pro. So I think that would be a welcomed addition. Anyway, stay tuned. I'll give some thoughts on it as I get it set up and have it a couple times for a little bit, and probably next week or so we'll add a video kind of with my impressions on the Windows Surface laptop versus the MacBook Pro. Kind of a little comparison. I'm not really going to get into the testing, the performance, because we both know they're probably going to be able to do way more than I need to do. So it'll be just kind of little things that are nice to know. Anyway, I hope everyone's doing well. Have a fantastic weekend, and we will talk to you soon. Planoman out.